Okay, recording, turning off Dr. William Joel. After show!
After show!
Oh my God, I'm so distractible, Alex. You've suffered from it like in 4 different ways in the last hour.
Distractible or
not
enthusiastic
a bad
in many ways?
Well,
Good.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a... it is value judgment. No, I got distracted with all things related to the show. Kind of. I think that's another one of my Maria Bamford voices.
What is...
Getting pretty good at speaking tiger.
It's the anxiety, man. It's the anxiety
The
mosquito
Janjaweed,
from...
the horseback militia. Because she can't
human
stand
resources.
up. Oops is down here teaching everybody to read. Janjaweed, because she can't stand up. How many candles you got? Would you like me to light a candle for you? And she says right back to me, sassy as you please, how many candles you got? Did you get my photo? I sent you a lot of materials.
You did. You sent me the requested can crusher, which was very exciting.
I sent you the video of the can crusher. I sent you the Holy Trinity. Did you get those 3?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And of course I have a question.
Yes, you there. It's okay, go ahead. Ask the question.
On the left,
yes,
there's a
meditating
Frenchie, dog. But is it a Frenchie? Do we know the breed? Is it?
I think it's called meditating
Buddhist
dog.
Frenchie. Okay,
well, it's people just make the same kind of quirky thing. You know, it's like, this is a quirky cat meditating or whatever. In the middle, you got John Siracusa, one of my experiments in weathering the model, as we call it in the business. On the left side, you've got a Frenchie. Meditating Frenchie, which is my favorite yoga position. Upward-looking dog. And on the right, I've got a pretty shitty-looking wood rendering of Pope Leo XIV with his eyeglasses.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I didn't. I've got some bridging problems, and that's on me.
I like his. Wow, everything's brown today.
It's increasingly brown.
I want to take a bite out of the top of it.
Oh, he kind of looks like a chocolate pope.
Yeah.
Sacrilegious.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this after show. I have so much to talk to you about. I was listening to Billy Joel.
Go on. Yes,
I'm having
Billy
a little
Joel.
bit of a Glass Houses phase. I know it's not his best. I sent you the poster for Sleepaway Camp. That's my favorite.
I really like
where the head covers the crotch area.
It was a different time.
It's not a good movie. It's not a very good movie. But the girl, the one who she looks like Levin in this, was that her name? Billy Brown,
so.
Billy, increasingly Billy Mobby Brown.
Billy, yes.
Billy Brown. Bobby Millie, Bobby, Billy
Bobby
Flannery.
Joel. Yes.
Joel.
Yes.
Billy Flannery. Joel. I wonder if he'll ever change his middle name. It's a good name.
It is.
You ever read any Flannery O'Connor?
Not for a really long time.
But you probably read A Good Man Is Hard to Find.
Yeah, but like bits and pieces.
Want to know the last line of that?
Please.
The misfit says to the other guy, he says, there ain't no joy in life. He says, she'd have been a good woman if it had been somebody there to shoot her every minute of her life.
The aristocrats.
Okay. So here's my idea. Can we do a fun thing together that's just a fun thing? If you want, we could start up by just picking an easy challenge and then just do this till we're sick of it. But I thought it would be fun because one of my distractions was I started doing what we were going to do now, and I love the results, and I'm very enthused. I was thinking we could do some funny stuff together in tandem and see what our results are.
All right.
But is it okay, just as an intro to that, could I share, do you mind if I share some of these with our audience?
Please.
Okay, so right before we started talking, hey, everybody, thank you so much for listening. First of all, beyond anything else, thanks a million for supporting the program. We could really use the money, and you're helping with that. So thank you.
I care more about your money than your ears. So
I'm very grateful that y'all are here. Yeah. So what I did was I go in and I says to him, I said, what's the surprising fact about me? I'm going to skip the first one for now and go and jump down. And it said, would you like a few more? This comes back up in a minute. So can I do a quick reading series? It gave me 5 facts about myself. We'll just read a couple of these. You've mastered the obscure features of your microwave, like sensor reheat and adjusting power levels, but still haven't gotten around to relicensing yourself to drive. The contrast is notable. Well, I can see. I think people could be forgiven for thinking this is a person. I think you could be forgiven for thinking this is a very specific person, at least in my life.
Yeah.
I recorded with him last night. Number 3. I'm just skipping around. Just a couple quick more. You're meticulous with media libraries, file naming conventions, and Plex setups, but you're pretty relaxed about remembering things like mop refills and vinegar by using ad hoc methods, such as Amazon orders, old emails, and photo metadata. How much have we talked about this? Mm-hmm. New sentence. It's like high-level sysadmin meets chaotic neutral grocery list.
Oh, I don't like how much that makes sense. Ooh.
I love how much that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another one, you're highly organized with your podcast workflows, but still need to remind yourself to put away the carpet cleaner and refill the bird feeder. Final one?
Yes.
You know the exact model numbers of most of your tools and gadgets, but sometimes you'll say things like, quote, the blue AirPods are still not fixed, and leave it at that. Like you're tracking them emotionally, not technically.
Oh my God. This is the prompt was just facts.
The call's coming from inside the sleepaway camp. Would you like me to give you the single most Merlin fact I could come up with? And I thought for a minute, I said, yes, please. He said, here's the most Merlin here's the most Merlin fact I can give you. You are a person who can explain in precise detail how to sanitize the innards of a nugget ice machine, optimize a Synology NAS over Tailscale, and why scene naming conventions matter for Plex, M-. But you also have an active, ongoing mental list of things like, quote, take out the recycling and, quote, refill the bird feeder as if they're P1 critical tickets.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the combination of big system thinking applied to, I want you to listen closely to this. It's the combination of big system thinking applied to extremely mundane tasks that is so uniquely you.
Oh.
And I realize that's about as useful probably as a cold reading, but fuck, that's me pulling on my collar with one finger like, it's me.
Oh, God. Did you listen to the most recent Panic World? I think you listened to
No, I haven't.
Ryan Broderick. Of course, the title is something like AI therapy slop, and like, and turns out the whole thing is just about how what I talked about, how good this thing is at noticing patterns. And as long as you say, hey, don't glaze me, bro, it starts to notice you have interesting theories of a P1 crisis.
Are you ready? Are you ready to jump into this?
Oh, yeah, I put...
Okay, all right, you can do yours, because I got another one for us to try together. It's the next thing it's prompting me for, but please tell me what you have asked.
So I said, I just asked, can you give me a list of 5 surprising facts about me?
Yes.
And they weren't interesting. I make podcasts, raise money for St. Jude. Do you have a Bengal cat and a Turkish fan?
Wait, one of your cats is a Bengal cat?
Yes. Well, he's half Bengal, half
I didn't know that.
Like 35
I thought they were
different
really
things.
tall.
No, those are Savannah. I know what you're
servals
thinking.
or Savannah cats.
Yeah.
Did I ever show you? I took a photo of one in a tree one time. We had a Savannah cat in our tree one time.
What?
I'll find it.
Oh, God. Oh, man. You're
Hey Siri, find cat in a tree.
Here's
never mind. Cancel.
Number 5 gets a little bit into what I use this for a lot. You're obsessed with tonsil stone prevention and oral hygiene. You've only had one cavity in your life, and you treat your mouth like a zero-failure system. It's
Holy
oddly
shit.
impressive.
And does that sound right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
oh my God.
I ask it a lot of health questions, but that's one of the weirder ones and one of the more frequent ones. And it's, I don't want a weirder set next, because, of course, yes, please.
Yes,
You'll
please.
often ask how many R's are in the word strawberry. Not really self-aware, there isn't.
Sorry. That's so good and that's so everybody.
Yes. You've started putting a podcast episode on a Game Boy cartridge.
Okay.
You know, this is one that is, I think, your fault. You know enough about plumbing valves to send me diagrams. The only diagrams I've ever sent are for my water heater and your apparatus. So I'm not sure where that one's coming from. And then you refer to your spouse as Maddie and love him more than anything.
Oh, that's so sweet.
In this thing. So yeah, that's
hey, check your messages real quick. Okay, this is going to be perfect for our project. Right? Do you clock that as a Savannah?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So here's the thing to know. Well, maybe you could probably describe this better than I, but so after this, I was like, holy shit. So that is the tree that we see. Maybe this will be, okay, show art, Savannah Cat?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a tree that I see straight out of our backyard. Like if you look through the hole in my bird feeder, you'd be looking at this tree. And it's difficult to tell from scale here, but you can kind of tell that's a pretty big cat, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a baby tiger almost.
Mm-hmm. Even like with the most generous proportions of the tree, it's still a really big
So what you can do, and I did look this up when this happened in 2014. Whoa. I searched for cat entry. What I found out is that there are people out there, and the websites for this are usually pretty hilarious and old school. They're like, hey, you want a wild cat? And it's like, yeah, I want a wild cat. It's like, okay, well, we can get you a cat that's a combination of like a wild animal and a domestic cat. And my understanding is you pay by the percent purity of the wild cat.
Yeah.
So if you want one that's closer to being a wild cat, it's like over $1,000, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't it like a lot?
Yep. Yes.
So somebody, you don't have, to my knowledge, I'll have to look this up on ChatGPT. I don't think we have a surpassing number of wild, multi-$1,000 Savannah cats. I'm guessing this is a cat that got out, and climbed up the tree. What I didn't send you is a photo of so many birds flying around it, freaking out, because this is right near. It's right near a nest.
I was wondering if this was a more recent one, because you've
it ate some crows. It ate some crows on this visit.
Oh,
you could tell the crow mom and dad were very unhappy at the time.
Still impressed. Oh, that's impressive. This I would say it looks a bit like an F. Like an F4.
Right. Tell people about this, because that's part of it is like there's those. And it represents the number of generations away.
Yeah, I always forget what I believe it is the number correlates to not 1-to-1 how many generations it's away.
Bloodline purity.
Yeah, because F1 is, I believe, one generation away, and it's a male.
You drive a Monte Carlo.
The Monte Carlo means it had a daddy wildcat, and an F2 is a mommy wildcat, and then it goes down cheaper from there, basically. Okay. And then like F4 would be, like just two F2s, and I believe an F5 is a 2 and a 3, and it's a weird. I'm pulling look, even at this Wikipedia page, that's quite a diagram. Yeah. So eventually then you are paying $1,000 for just a normal cat, but most of them are like weird inbred dogs.
What does
and
a
also
Savannah cat cost?
I'm going to say $3,000 on average.
Okay. I think that sounds right. Let's see what it says here. It's looking. Oh, look how precious these are. F1 to F5 plus whoa. Okay, so F4 to F5, which is 11 to 15% serval. Serval's the kind of cat it's based on.
Yeah, that's the wild, non-domesticated.
Or to quote Lemongrab, it's because I am royal and you are serval. F3 19%, F2 30%, F1 50% serval, 15 to 25 grand.
But what about that's actually less. What about the F4 to 5? Like
it goes the other way. Line? It's like DEF CON. F1 is 50%. F5
Yeah.
is 15%, 11%, 15%.
Wait,
So-
they're doing that now? What the
Well,
fuck?
this is just what it said on the thing.
Oh, no, sorry. I did math wrong. Okay, F1 is 50%. Okay.
It's like in the it's like in the studio.
Sorry,
when-
I said
It's
it
like in that
right.
episode of the studio where we didn't know how much mushroom was in the mushrooms. Just 2
Forgot
eighths.
how percentages.
That was a funny joke. That show's not as good as people say, but it's pretty funny. Okay, let's try one. Starting off with where we are now. Can I make a suggestion?
Please, yes.
New thread. I'm in ChatGPT 4.0. What are you in?
I am also in 4.0.
Okay. So the last, let me go back here. So what I had asked in that thread where we got the stuff about me, right? The surprising personal fact thread. Here's the last thing it said. Would you like me to make a little personal, quote, Merlin paradox list, unquote? Things you do that are a little contradictory but very you.
Oh, wow.
So what I'm going to ask is, what's a hilariously paradoxical fact about me? And you do whatever you feel like.
I'm asking it the same thing.
It hurts. It hurts.
Okay, this one isn't that bad.
Okay.
You meticulously organize your podcast workflows with automations and scripts while your Gmail inbox has 4,000 plus unread messages
Oh my
and is a
God,
digital
Alex.
landfill. You're both a wizard of structure and chaos. So I don't know.
Fair.
I use like a really, really old saying. I don't even want to talk about it. It's like I've been grandfathered in to this old free version of SaneBox that just puts everything.
Oh, it's funny. I realized mine had stopped working because I guess my credit card expired and I re-upped it. Oof. I get so much email I never see. It's really unwholesome.
Well, got fucking newsletters and
Yeah. Well, here's mine. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm going to put on an overcoat, and I'm going to fill the pockets with stones, and I'm going to walk into the sea.
All right.
Ready?
Please.
What's a hilariously paradoxical fact about me? Headline. You're someone who meticulously organizes chaos. The text. You'll spend hours perfecting a markdown file about disorganization or setting up an elaborate SCADA board to, quote, keep your clutter visible, unquote. You curate your mess like it's a museum exhibit because it's not messy if it's intentional, right? End. That's it.
Oh, gee.
I usually spend $400 for a session like this. You know how much it cost me to find that? You curate your mess like it's a museum exhibit because it's not messy if it's intentional, right?
Oh my god.
And then it prompted me, would you like a few more? We don't have to keep going with this particular line of inquiry, but I thought that would be a fun one to start out with.
This is interesting that, that it both, I don't know what it says, that both of ours said the word meticulously, but mine did not give me a headline and, so sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And for once, did not get a follow-up. That's odd.
I'm going to
Normally
ask
it knows, and I
mine.
love
Can I do my next one?
Please.
Tell me what you know about Alex Cox.
Oh, no.
Oh, should I say based? No, I'm just going to leave it at that. Tell me what you know about Alex Cox. Don't search the web. That's not what I wanted. No. You're going to tell me about Sid and Nancy. Oh, my God. Poor Alex Cox. This is the photo. It's not as bad as Estelle Getty's Wikipedia photo.
It's pretty bad.
Is her photo still bad? Have we checked?
Oh, I don't know. Shit, that's worse than the wall. Oh, holy fuck. Oh, no, I was thinking about, yikes. Hold on, let me find
all
the
these
one.
photos of Estelle Getty are too old. Oh, yeah. She still has a terrible Wikipedia photo. It's hilarious. Oh, my God. She looks like, wait, you're not actively watching the Gemstones, right? She looks like Amy Lee.
What era?
Amy, the dead mother, the deceased mother. Here it says Getty in 1989. I'm sending this to you. No, that's a cute picture of Alex Cox. I saw him in a documentary recently, and he seems charming. He reminds me of Billy Bragg. He seems down to earth. Okay.
Oh boy.
So I'll say instead that was a bad one. I'm going to do a different one. How about this? What do you know about my podcast co-host? Doesn't that seem like a better?
Yes.
Because otherwise it's going to think I'm asking you information about the greater Cox. What do you know about my podcast?
Many a good Cox.
Oh, that's a cute photo. What's that from? Asking about me?
Yes. What do you know about?
Oh, that's my old Sneaky Pete glasses that Gruber used to make fun of. It says Sneaky Pete right on the arm. Oh shit! This is funny.
Oh, go on.
Holy fuck! Oh, this is upsetting.
Oh.
Well, do you want to try it and see what you get? What I said was, what do you know about my podcast co-host?
Let me see.
It says here that you're known for being very online, self-deprecating, smart, and funny. You and Alex have a sibling-esque vibe, chaotic good energy, supportive but irreverent. Fair. They bring an entirely different tone from Max. Less confrontational, more collaborative absurdity.
Mine is quite hurtful, I think.
To whom?
To you, because it said, what do you know?
It depends on what you've told it, I imagine.
Well, I did not distinguish. What do you know about my podcast co-host? You've mentioned a few collaborators, but your main podcast host is Max, who previously worked with you on Do by Friday.
Skip that part. I've got that here.
No, but is an amateur magician. Shares your interest in tech, podcasting, and creative products, media company.
It says here that my dynamic with Max was combative but funny, pushing boundaries, lots of bits and challenges. John Siracusa, his personality is analytical, thoughtful, sometimes grumpy, sometimes, but self-aware, great foil for your more chaotic energy. The chaos is coming up a lot. Mm-hmm. His dynamic with you centers on, because it also has, lots of transcripts and stuff, right? His dynamic with you often centers on philosophical life approaches, habits, and personal histories. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, I've noticed the pattern of chaos and meticulousness in both of them are. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if it's because of transcript. No, I don't know.
Transcript. Mm-hmm. You people take the name for everything.
I know, right?
We should probably end up making this public, so don't say anything controversial this time. Don't talk about the elephant.
I won't.
Don't think of an elephant.
No.
See the button it wears? Who put the button on it? Because it couldn't put that button on with its own little elephant feet.
Yeah,
somebody put that on there.
Well, someone put the syringes in too.
But it's like when Tony Stark in his robot, dummy. Makes it wear a dunce hat. Remember that? Remember the first one? It's a really good movie. Okay, you pick the next one, please.
Oh God, I don't know. Where's?
Okay, you want me to do one more while you think on it?
Yes, please.
What gift of less than $100 would really make me happy? Well, that's a loaded question. This will finally be what makes me happy. I thought it was going to be my new utility knife, but what gift of less than $100 would make me happy? Question mark. It's probably going to be a tool. High quality, weirdly specific screwdriver. well, see, this is funny, Alex. A high quality. I said, what's a gift of less than $100 that would make me happy? It says a high quality, weirdly specific screwdriver or precision tool you didn't know you needed, but instantly love. Ooh, Aww. These are good suggestions. It's suggesting a different Vera Craftform compact, which is my jam. That's pretty good. That's kind of boring. You pick one.
I want to hear it roast you.
No.
No? Would you like to hear what it said about me?
Please. No, that's why we're doing it. Yeah.
Alex Cox is the kind of person who'd invent a whole AI clone of themselves just to avoid responding to texts. Yeah.
Wait.
hurts.
Whoa. Whoa.
yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I'm going to be cute about this. That feels accurate, but do you think it's true? Do you believe it's true? But it does feel accurate, if not true.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
And
Sorry.
Is the scooter talking again? Hey, buddy.
No, it's my family. Oh, the Giants are losing. Bummer. Okay.
Oh dear.
I like a good game, but Madeline likes when people win. I like a good game. I personally think the Warriors are probably going to lose tonight. I shouldn't say that, but I think they'll probably lose.
Oh dear.
We'll watch it. I'll like it, but she won't, because I like a good game.
You like it correctly, yes. You've got ADHD, bipolar 1, and a PhD in starting side projects you abandon like cursed Tamagotchi.
Oh, no!
You treat...
Oh, no, Alex! Too true!
It's very true.
Delete the machine!
Wait, this one's worse. You treat new ideas like stray cats, emotionally adopt them, give them cute little names, and then forget to feed half of them.
What? Would you do me a kindness and please reread that last part, please?
You treat new ideas like stray cats, emotionally adopt them all, give them cute names, and then forget to feed half of them.
That hurts. You know, Alex, that's a little bit hurtful. Did you accidentally turn on hurtful mode? It
says, would you like me to be more savage? Not right now.
Oh, you would love that.
Oh yes, on air. It's gonna be meaner about mental illness.
You love that. You love that.
Oh, tell me I'm bad, robot. Tell me
Step
I'm
on my
bad.
stamp.
Tell me I'm a bad friend. Do it. Oh, this is really good though. Man.
Okay, can I write one for both of us to try?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay. But do it in the voice of an old-timey prospector who refers to himself in the third person as, quote, Old Cletus. I've had really good luck with this one. Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm sending you, and you can copy and paste if you agree. Almost send it to Madeline. That would be weird. Because if I'd said to my wife, in 50 words, gently describe a good opportunity for improvement in my life, add that. But do it in the voice of an old-timey prospector who refers to himself in the third person as Old Cletus. I'm going to try this. That's how I got those great results for how to hot glue my nanolights. All right. Same thread, pasting it in. All right, I'm not even going to read this.
Oh my God.
See, I think this thing, okay, all right, okay. I think we need, I think hurtful mode has been enabled. You ready? You want to do yours or I'll do mine?
All right. No. Well, now, old Cletus reckons you're sitting on a gold vein of potential, friend, but your wagon's a bit cluttered. Ooh. Too many ideas, not enough product. If you clear the trail, set one true course, old Cletus bet you'll strike purpose richer in a mother load in spring thaw.
That's colorful as hell.
So it did glide me a little bit there at the end, but
yeah.
It's a running theme. All right. How?
Well, now, old Cletus reckons you got a mighty fine knack for gathering tools and notions, but maybe, just maybe, it's time to mind the old finishing stuff vein. Ain't no shame in letting some projects dry proper in the fun afore. Ain't no shame in letting some projects dry proper in the sun afore digging new holes. Riches await the steady hand, friend. That's like a very long and angry fortune cookie.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like
they should let more prospectors, old-timey prospectors, write fortunes.
Oh, indeed. Like, you kind of have to do a command F with some racism.
Well, now, old Cletus says the journey of 10,000 miles begins with the first step. I
just like richer in a mother load and spring thaw.
Yeehaw!
Oh God, I don't like how similar they are. That's
Yeah, so I'm starting to think it's the machine. You pick one.
I don't think. No, I don't know. I think it is. It's projecting. Really, the sycophancy is in me.
How about this?
Actually, I'm going to ask.
What's the most obscure thing I've asked you to do for me? You don't have to do that one. I'm just going to put. We can do our own.
I asked, "What's a funny question I should ask you about myself?"
Oh, good. What? Is this still a prospector?
No, I didn't. No.
You have enabled Hurtful Prospector mode. Hello. Cletus will be with you in a minute. Hurtful Prospector mode. Title! I don't know why this prospector has a whip, but he loves using it.
Oh, I don't want to know what year he's from. If I were a minor character in a sitcom, what weird recurring gag would I be known for?
Not finishing projects. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Oh, gosh.
Wow, it really nailed both of us on that a little bit, huh?
Oh, yeah. You'd be the eccentric neighbor who always enters a room mid-conversation with an extremely specific gadget or obscure historical fact that somehow perfectly but confusingly
So you're like Kramer,
plot.
but you come in with something you bought at a flea market and you don't know what it's for or something.
The thing is, this makes sense.
In the show, right?
I suppose, yes. And perfectly but confusingly does that tracks. Bonus,
sorry.
There's a mysterious beat that follows you everywhere, but no one can figure out where
mysterious
it's coming
beep?
from. Yeah. What is
oh my
Big
God.
Bang Theory?
That's abstract but awesome. Tell me what your question was, please.
If I were a minor character in it, what did I ask? What's a funny question I should ask you about myself? And then, if I were a minor character in a sitcom, what weird recurring gag would I be known for?
If I were a minor character in a sitcom, what weird? I'm not a very good typist. I'm sorry. Recurring gag would I be known for?
I should have plugged in a fun keyboard for this.
Oh, sorry, I'm typing. This is the regular wireless Apple. You'd be the guy who always.
It's not fun.
Oh, see, this is bullshit. It says you'd be the guy who carries a notebook but never actually writes in it. Yeah. Which character on the first 3 seasons of The Wire would I be? I hope it says Omar. Wait, you know what it's going to say? I kind of predict. I have not hit enter. Here, I'm doing a screenshot. So if I have to prove this, it says which character. I said which character on the first 3 seasons of The Wire would I be? I think it's going to say Ziggy. That's my prediction. I want it to be Omar, but I think it'll be Ziggy. Oh fuck! You ever seen The Wire?
Oh no!
You ever seen The Wire?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Remember the black guy who mostly just makes doll furniture for a while?
Oh,
you're Lester Freeman. No question.
Oh,
Quiet.
Wow.
Quiet, observant, methodical. What?
Oh, I thought
thread. I think I don't like this thread.
No. Yeah, but I can see. Okay, in the 4th and 5th. Do you remember his season 4 and 5? Like he gets a little.
No, I don't specifically.
Wrong.
So season 4 is, let's see. Okay, season 1 is regular. Season 2 is union. Season 3 is like season 1, but even better. Season 4 is schools. Season 5 is journalism. What did Lester do in 4 and 5? I remember Prez becoming a teacher. I love that.
Yeah, for he was. Prez was a teacher, and Lester's like really obsessed with getting the Wire back up and starts doing a whole bunch of corruption. And then 5 is the serial killer season. And
what?
He just...
Serial killer? I thought it was the schools one.
No, the last season. Isn't season 5 the last season?
I thought that was the one. Journalism. Right. Sorry.
Yeah,
4. Okay.
and so he and McNulty fake a serial killer and try to trick and I believe successfully for some time, tricks the the jaded newspaper guy into writing about it.
Okay.
So, but I think it was just like dull furniture. Yeah.
I'm going to
sound about right.
I asked in a second thread, and it said Lester Freeman. And I'm getting frustrated with that. So I said, how am I like Ziggy? Now, at this juncture, I want to remember Ziggy. He's the bonehead guy in season 2 that causes trouble for Frank's son, Ziggy.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen his penis many times. Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You see his
Polish
comb?
Penis guy. Yeah.
Polish penis. Okay.
No.
And I regret it because here's what it said. All right. I'm inserting the phrase Mr. Big Shot. All right. Here's how you're like Ziggy Sabatka. For better or worse. You overthink everything. But sometimes the overthinking is the bit. What? You get in your own way trying to be clever, even when you are clever. We've got a weird sense of humor that not everyone gets, but you double down anyway. Never say double down unless you're talking about Jack. Oh. Remember this. Okay.
No.
It should know that by now. You want to be taken seriously, but you also But you also kind of enjoy being the wild card. You know what they say to Charlie and Sonny? No, nobody wants a wild card. You use bravado to cover up insecurity, but mostly for your own amusement. It's like Chris Christopherson wrote a song about me, but he hates me.
I can't tell if this, because as I've said before, it was like, oh, lately you've been using less self-deprecating language, blah blah blah, and I wonder if I've just trained it to I've just positively reinforced it.
Right, that's a very good way to put it.
Have I been stomp on my oh God, I've just got internalized stomp on my stamp energy in all I do.
Sorry, I almost called you Billy. I'm just like you.
That's a compliment. I know. Honestly, yeah.
I think you're gonna like this one. Could you consider doing this, please?
Yes.
Type in. I don't know, you want to paste it so you can just copy paste?
Sure.
It's short. And it is, what's the most obscure thing I've asked you to do for me?
Ooh, I think
I like my result.
A long time ago, though. Oh, it's taken a while. Honestly, you've asked for some, it's going slow, weird stuff, but one of the most obscure requests might be replicate this image, please. Why does it violate your policy? In quotes, twice. There was no explanation, no context, just a mystery image.
Oh, I guess you've got another co-host that you didn't know about. Somebody who's very confused about what you say and don't say times and don't know it. No context, eh?
Oh, God. I know.
You fucked me up. Matt Howie sent me something the other day, and I was just like, stop handing me things. Don't hand me things.
I think I know exactly. How to make the runners-up include asking me to explain a courtroom drawing of Luigi Mangione. I think that's normal.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Transforming an image in PlayStation 2 era claymation Muppet Go to the City, early 2000s video game, making a mood light that reflects your vibes using Cloudbit and Iftata. And requesting a structured markdown show notes.
Ooh.
That's not obscure. I do that every day.
Try a new thread, and I'll tell you mine. So off the top of my head, I said, what's the most obscure thing I've asked you to do for me? And I'm just going to read you a few of these. Off the top of my head, some contenders. Researching a pizza place in Northgate Mall before 1978 that cut pizza into squares and specifically was not Shakey's. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it starts with a C. It's not La Rosa's, but they did Party Cut Pizza, which Syracuse hates. Number 2, identifying, and I know this is a terrific quote, identifying a Lex Luthor quote about a candy wrapper from the 1978 Superman movie. I think I've asked it that several times because I always forget to write it down. We'll see if I've got it in my file here. See, the system, do you understand how the system works? The system, it all works together.
I'm realizing that I've made a mistake that I can sort of work around. A lot of times when ChatGPT gets something wrong, I go to Claude because it just seems like it has a bigger knowledge base in general. And it sometimes you can convince it to, I can't share it because I don't have, I'll just do a screenshot. But I had to make a spreadsheet of all the drugs Hitler was taking, which ChatGPT wouldn't let me do. I asked,
was that a long time ago? I wonder if it would do it now. Them guardrails is down, baby.
I don't. Oh crap! I don't know where it went. See, Claude doesn't have a good app. I just
let me read you a couple more of mine. Finding actors who appeared in both I, Claudius and Dune. Plotting your dehumidifier emptying patterns in quote an interesting way. It's true. This is one from 3 days ago. Making an STL, which is a kind of 3D print model file, making an STL for a cupped caster holder with a 3-degree angled seating surface to level a table on a sloped floor. I'm still working on that. But finally says, if I had to pick, the Northgate Mall square cut pizza place mystery is peak Merlin obscurity. And then it said, want me to keep an active obscure Merlin quests list? And I'm going to say, sure. Because now I've done the challenge.
Oh boy! Real quick, the way that how I mentioned I downloaded all of my archives. I've opened them, and I think that because I deleted it. It's deleted so much before it had the unlimited memory.
It got like dumped out like FIFO.
So I would just and I had just been saving it. And I wonder if you know the answer to this question. I'm trying to find a web series from the early 2000s that was about a guy being watched by the internet, but he initially doesn't know. I don't remember if it was on YouTube, but I do know that each episode was only a few minutes long. It might have been titled something like I See, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. The only thing I know for sure is that it had an I in the name as a tech reference to Apple. Can you try to find this old web series? And ChatGPT could not do it. It tries iBoy. It's a bunch of things, but Claude.
And this is also, though, sometimes, remember what I said earlier about how it's hard to find things if they don't exist? The problem, and this is something Syracuse and I keep going, agreeing on, is like it's always going to give you everything it gives you, even its questions are completely confident, let alone its assertions. It asserts things as though it's true, and that's a problem for a lot of people because they don't. One, including me, one doesn't know to question assertions when they seem true or seem true most of the time. But, that's part of the skill of this. And you can ask it things like, please verify that, or show me your citation for that, or force it to do the thing that it actually can't do. The saddest thing of all, the self-consciousness problem. At this point, in my understanding of LLMs, it can't really tell you how it knows what it knows or why it knows it. And you could say that's because it's not going to admit that it stole this from a D&D site. Yeah, sure. But also it's that just the way, the way it's put together as a model, I don't think it allows it to, quote, say with confidence. I mean, if there's one obscure place, it could say it found that, but it's just a corpus of shit that it's dropping stuff out of.
Well, and so I tried deep research with I tried it again.
That's
with
wild.
ChatGPT,
it'll just run and run.
Well, and it also
wild.
You can't see the whole thing because I mean you can when it's done, but just like when it used to generate an image and then you'd realize like, oh, I'm not allowed to, and it would disappear. It will sometimes do that, and watching it,
that's so frustrating. It feels like that's not fair. You already started. You gotta finish
buddy,
it.
Not nice. But Claude was able to get it. Did fuck this app. Based on your description, I think you're looking for Lonely Girl 15, or it's a spin-off of Cape Modern.
Is it from that time? Is it from around that time?
It is.
In your head.
What do you mean?
No,
nope.
But like,
no.
Because we remember Lonely Girl. So what would that be? 2003, 4, 5, something like that.
Yes. And so
Was it around then, do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it goes, however, if you're specifically looking for the one with I in the title as a tech reference to male protagonists being watched, short episodes, and an online surveillance theme, the closest match I can think of might be the I channel, or possibly I am watching. There's also a series of blah, blah, which it was the I channel. And
no shit.
Yeah. And so it was, I was like, oh, thank you, Claude. And I do think there's something like Claude has sucked up more of the, I don't know, like older, obscure internet shit. Because
maybe it's scraping something different that's useful for that kind of stuff that ChatGPT either hasn't scraped or isn't exposing.
I think it's interesting how librarians often prefer Claude, and I mean they don't know either, and I don't know anyone.
Google is Claude.
I was so confident. I thought Darius Osmati worked at Google at some point too. I was just like, no,
Darius Osmati works at Baskin Robbins.
Wait, I don't know.
No, I thought we were just saying words now. I don't know who the fuck that is. What the fuck?
Who is that? He's the CEO of Anthropic.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should tell it to remember that. Put that in the memory. Daria Walton Goggins.
He's a very.
You see Walton Goggins clogging with his mother on Saturday night?
No, I saw an image of him with an open shirt.
Oh man, that's same. That's from his monologue. Yeah, that guy's narrow. Whew.
How much do you think any of the opening monologue, like how much does, what's his name? I love him, but does he improv like any of his Trump monologues? No. The guy who does Trump on SNL.
No. I mean, I think there's elements of him reading the room and the reaction like any improv comic, but
he seems to be doing a little bit more and breaking more.
This last week he was very breaky.
Yeah,
he was kind of going out of the usual character. Okay, well, let's start wrapping up and get to a challenge. Is there anything else we can learn about ourselves at this juncture that would be useful to our audience, to our friends who are listening? Can we inspire them? We could ask for compliments. I've never done that, and I kind of don't want it in my history.
I did that. It was really upsetting. I didn't like it.
Because you could tell they weren't real, that they weren't sincere?
It was just telling me what I wanted to hear. Like, but also there were, I deleted it. It was also like, even though you think you're this, you're really this. And I'm like, oh, shut up.
Well, my prospector was not very nice about some of those things. That prospector who is a very garrulous person, I think a man, Cletus, assigned prospector at birth. And some of the things that he said to me were very hurtful, I thought. And that's okay, because sometimes, it's a hard truth that's going to fall.
Yes. I'm thinking if Cletus was a lady and just her tone. Merlin, how would Ms. Cletus, what if it's a mixed Cletus? Ooh.
I got a voice for that. I got an MX voice. I got an MX voice in a Descript that I use sometimes. Whatever the opposite of gender neutral is. Like whoever this person is somehow super gendered, but like one of those like super gendered people, like, you know what I mean? Like where you're like, oh, you're kind of like all the like Billy Porter or Janelle Monáe, where you're like, oh, you got a lot going on, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Radio buttons are not that individual's friend. What, non-Hispanic? White non-Hispanic. That's what I used to click. That used to be the thing that always said, I would say white non-Hispanic. What an odd, was I think the like official US, like, that's what I am. I'm white non-Hispanic.
Yep. Yes.
But isn't that what an odd thing to say? Because I've said this about Apple TV icons. I've said this about almost everything. Whenever you've got two of something and one represents, we've got two of something. Well, how about if you got one of something? Like most light switches in America, mostly, you flip the switch from down to up to turn on the lights. You flip it from up to down, turn it off. And, your grandparents might have a crazy one they installed upside down by mistake, and you get used to that, and that's fine. But without knowing whether the lights are on, you could touch or look at the thing. And do you follow what I mean, though? It doesn't require the contrast of a second state for you to know the current state.
Yes.
And I think this is largely a design problem among designers. is that, and it's not, I'm not saying it's just because of aesthetics, but like on Apple TV, no matter what I turn on, it still takes me more time than I would like to know what's currently selected on screen. And I think somebody might say, well, yeah, you've turned on the high contrast and like you'll see there's a line around it and it's a little larger. And it's like, but like when you're flipping through like a vertical list of videos on like Peacock or YouTube, like can you tell always what's currently selected? The only way to know what's currently selected is by visually comparing it to what you think is not currently selected. Mm-hmm. So sometimes if there's six things, you can see the one that's different. Here's the problem. A lot of times in life, because we love our binaries, you've got two things, and one of them, which leaves you, are you following me on this? Let's say you've got two lozenge buttons in front of you, and one, quote unquote, looks different. Well, which one's selected and which one's not? Well, you just move it to see. No, should I need to move the cursor to know which one is selected? But like, let's take it a step further. What if there's only one button and you don't know if it's on or off? Well, light switches have mostly taken care of that. It shows you state without having to change anything about the state. I don't think you should have to change state to know what the state is. Wasn't that a good rant?
Butler on, yeah, you Judith Butler, Apple TV. I'm very happy. No, I'm serious. That was good.
It's hard to explain unless, but because everybody's always like, well, I could figure it out. Well, again, let's go back to the person who's
you're smarter than me. People,
sure, you're smarter than me. You win. I don't know who you want to be and have me not be, but you win that one. You're not someone I want to hang out with. But I said this about so many times, especially about Close Magic, but especially about Apollo Robbins, where I think there are people out there who watch an Apollo Robbins video, any of the Apollo Robbins videos, and go, well, I could see what he did. And like, the thing I always want to say is like, well, there's so many levels to how dumb that remark is. Like, first of all, you're watching TV. On TV, you're watching a magic show. You're watching a magic show where you've been told that there will be deception and misdirection, and you can watch it as many times as you want and rewind. But I wonder if you would know it when you just found out later that your wallet's missing. Because, you probably didn't notice it then because it wasn't on TV. Do you know what I mean? Like, focus, that's the oils that illusionists work in, is things like misdirection and you not even knowing that a magic trick has happened. And like, it just drives me crazy. And so that I feel like sometimes I do feel, maybe it's just my internet voice in my head, but people will be like, well, I'd be able to tell. I don't have a problem with that. I can see what that looks like. And I'm not going to go African child on accessibility, although I could. But what I'm going to say is like, are you sure about that? And like, is it okay if I have a problem with that and you don't? And does that mean that it's not a problem because you don't have it? Well, I would say a surefire way to become a kind of just sighing, heaving piece of shit is to constantly tell other people that the problem they have doesn't exist because you don't have it.
Mm-hmm. It's very, I mean, you can say a lot of things about Scott Alexander, but I will mostly say he is
Scott Alexander. He's the head of Anthropic, which is Claude.
No, he is sorry. He's the author of Slate Star Codex, which has
it's a very good site.
It's and he kind of just
he's a thoughtful guy.
Predicted the internet with I can tolerate anything but the out group. Like
I remember Max had us read that for an episode.
Yeah, and it was just like now the
really
internet
good recently too. He's another one of those guys where I do not. He's prolific as hell.
He is. He actually wrote a very interesting, one of the few interesting things I've ever read about what people see as the correlation between transness, autism, and the rise of EDS diagnoses, which is Esler something syndrome. I thought it
was erectile dysfunction sucks.
Yeah, no. It's okay. Where you have hyper extended joints, and for some people it's very, very painful. For some
I remember
people,
this. It was his causation correlation stuff, right? Kind of like correlation and causation stuff with like, well, are these things actually related?
It wasn't that actually. It was I enjoyed it because it was like, all right, okay. So he presents a similar argument. Like, let's say that the reason that some people are trans is because what if that they're autistic because they're trans, or what if they're trans? Why are those
So
things
you're saying
bad?
we should get
What's
the
wrong with that?
Find out early if the babies are double jointed.
That's
And then
well,
send
the
them
other part,
to cut trail or something.
Well, and the other part being like the discomfort. EDS causes a lot of discomfort. It's a comorbidity with a lot of chronic pain stuff. I
think that stuff is fascinating, even if it's not completely correlative. It is. There's some my shrink has told me about that are like will change the way you think about shit in terms of correlations that are just like not being fully explored. Mm-hmm. And I know it sounds like a nut or something, but like one that he told me in one of our first sessions is people being treated as though they have depression when they have bipolar disorder is a classic.
It turned out fine for me.
Right. And why doesn't that work? Because, well, hi, I'm a guy who kind of kept up, and it looks like you need Prozac. Okay, well, I think an 8th grader would be able to say, but what if I have that and the opposite of that? But then a 10th grader might go, well, what if there's all kinds of levels of subtlety that you're just missing because that's the bin you put me in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got no. Yep. And that's part of it. Just he notes that like my whole family, we technically have we were diagnosed with EDS because I don't know. You've seen my freaky arm, probably. Well, just
you mean the tattoo?
No. They just it's double jointed people, usually you have EDS, but there's a huge spectrum of whether or not arthritis, it's whatever, who knows? It's something like long COVID. We don't know. It could just be vibes. Right. It could be
sort of like an IBS type thing.
Know.
We just don't know.
Yes. And his thing is well, what if, it's similar to a lot of trans scientists of so what if
scientists.
Well, the idea is
I know what you mean. Transhumanist scientists. They're the part cyborg. They got magnets in their fingers.
The idea of being all right, what if dysphoria it does correlate with some bodily pain? That might be at who cares?
Yes.
That could be also a thing. Why does that take away the human dignity? And to hear a white guy who has a very, not super conservative, but he has a big rationalist audience and he has I know people who have reversed directions in a lot of weird ways because it's who cares? Yeah, that doesn't oh, who cares? And at least they're obsessing about trans people in a different way.
Thank you. You're so bored with the other way.
Yeah.
I asked for challenges and they all suck.
Oh,
but I sent you a thing. So what I said was, this is a bad thread. I said, do you know about Due by Friday challenges? And it presented me that graphic. What is listen score? What does that mean?
Listen score.
I just sent you an image of it. It says listen score 47, top 1% listen notes. Have you heard of any of that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I asked it about it and said, yes, I know you've manipulated your data, try astral projection. Yeah, so I'm going to close and do a different thread because I said briefly suggest 5 challenges Alex and I could do this week. And the first one is inbox 0. It says get your main email inbox to 0 and document the emotional toil. New thread, please. Briefly suggest 5 challenges.
Toil.
And it's suggested inbox 0 again.
Huh.
Oh, these are all terrible. Oh, this is bad. This is going to go in not great successes. Make a thing. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's...
No, it's trying. It's trying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God, I thought that would be funnier.
No, it's just like with I think it might not have been here, but it when we ask it for challenges, it feels like it's trying to create headlines. It just can't.
I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean. What are the 3 weirdest challenges? we've done. Because now why am I asking that? So shouldn't I first ask, tell me all the challenges? No, I like to throw stuff in it just to see. I'm like Syracuse with the voice assistants. I like to make them fight. Mm-hmm. What's the 3 weirdest challenges we've done? The shocking one was very good. Eat some paste. Wait, did we?
No, I have eaten paste on the show, but it was not a challenge. There was much protesting.
Which episodes were these in? Okay, do you want to pick a challenge?
You said that you had already done the challenge, and then I was like, oh yes, sure, that will be the challenge that I should do.
Oh no, because I said I'd already done this week's challenge.
Okay.
Oh, we could do the breathing. We could look at the breathing article.
Oh yes.
And I can tell you the thing I liked about it. I mean, I kind of already told you,
but there's way more in there because
it doesn't. And
thought that I had...
But the thing is, this is the crazy part. And I can't say this is something that will help you for the rest of your life, let alone your rest of the day, let alone the rest of your life. I always get that backwards when I try to do that particular trope.
At least you didn't mistake 10% and 50%, and numbers are hard.
Which percent? What was that reference to?
I thought just a few minutes ago, or like a half hour ago, I thought that 10% was more than 50%.
Are you doing metric
confused.
Or imperial?
Exactly.
Right.
What's going to help us
right
for
now,
the rest of
it looks
our
like
life?
it's about 18 minutes. Well, let's see. It's about 18 ounces past the milliliter right now.
Yeah.
So that's hard.
Well, that's
difficult.
East Coast.
Big hand, little hand. Well, they're all the big hand over there. Mm-hmm. Minute by minute by minute by minute. That's a Doobie Brothers song. Oh, let's go to the challenges. Do. And you added some, I see. Breathe.
We're gonna breathe because I thought that I had read this whole thing until yesterday because I saved it in Reader, but it did the New York Times thing, and I'm like, oh wait, that's wrong. I don't have a subscription
where it says mean things about trans people.
No, yeah, I mean that too. Yeah, there was a big headline. I opened it up, and it's like,
well,
trans people make them stop breathing.
Oh no! It's much more a question of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We're not actually saying anything. We're just saying.
We're
not saying anything. We're just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. Today they asked RFK if he would vaccinate his children for polio, and he demurred. He wants to separate his personal beliefs from his professional beliefs, which are, as it turns out, the same.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Did you see he went swimming he took his grandchildren swimming in a polluted body of water over the weekend?
No.
Oh, it's really good. No, it's hilarious. He took his kids, and I think part of it was a little bit of a troll, like, doesn't bother me, like when Kramer goes swimming in the East River. He took his grandchildren swimming and posted some fun photos. I'm sure they had a great time. But they all went swimming, and it's in a place where it's very well known to be a place where, like, there's raw sewage in the water.
Oh, yeah, that sounds a little bit I wonder if that's only rage baity. Like I don't know. I'm
his more successful brother Warren won the Oscar. Oh, sorry, I thought I was talking about Rage Beatty's brother, Warren Beatty.
Yeah, no.
Words sound like other words.
I know. Mom.
Make a toy, visit a digital. Ooh, I like digital recreation. So, man, are we going to put people off with that? Breathe? I like breathe. Breathe? Breathe.
Yeah, breathe.
All right.
Breathe.
Check your Emma, figure out what you haven't come around to. Boy, I love my scrub daddy.
I'm so happy.
I like it better than the scrub mommy. I don't like the soft side mommy. I don't like that. I like that. I get to be hard all the way through.
Yeah, the scrub mommy is
No, I see it. Scrub mommy's better for, like, on your sink for dishes, maybe.
Well, that's the thing. It's trying to be like a it's trying to be like one of those smart dumb phones that's trying to be both things. I'm like, no, just pick two sponges. Yes,
I agree. Because here's the other thing.
Sponges.
How about for sponges? You never buy fewer than 6 sponges. I told Madeline something the other day. That I'm going to share with you, because I realized that this is something I learned in 1987. Pretty specifically, I can tell you that I had a huge impact on me. What were we talking about? Oh, I was telling Madeline, God almighty, I fucking hate how right ChatGPT is. That my new system, I'm working on a new system. And one of my new systems is getting better about taking out the trash. And sometimes I have a thing I do. She used to find it funnier. She used to find it funny when I would say things as an understatement. And now I'm not sure if she gets it because I think she's gotten too many vaccinations and wears a button. But I the Madeline in the room, I'm trying to say is, I can't believe you did that. Wait till you hear back. You're going to realize what a bad idea that was. And is that I was saying, like, yeah, I've realized, it's a lot easier to take out our three kinds of trash, being recycling, compost, and, landfill trash. It's way easier to take them out before they're full. And, like, there's some dumb, like, privation mentality idea in my head that I should wait till it's full. It's no fun to take out 13 gallons of anything, especially if it's like wet food garbage, And I was just saying, like, it's just easier to like just take it all out before it's full. And I said something weird. Then we started talking about something related to that. But I said that when I was being taught how to use a Mac in 1987 by different friends of mine, one of the very first things I was taught was like, I'm going to make you a disk. Here's a system disk. And here's a disk with Right Now on it, which is a pretty good writing app. And da-da-da-da. So you put this in the bottom one, and that starts it up. You put this one, and then when you save your documents, you save it onto your Right Now disk, right? Because there's only 2 floppy drives. Anyways. And they're like, so the thing is, you've got to remember to save. And so what'll happen is the first time you save, it's going to say, what do you want to call this? And then you save it, and that saves it onto your disk. So now it's safe. But you're not done because you got to keep saving as you're working. Now, for the younger folks, this is how it used to be. It doesn't matter. But you have to save. It wouldn't save your progress unless you overtly saved it. There was no state stuff happening with that. But here's the part that stuck with me. When I was advised about how often to save on a Mac? Can I tell you?
Yes.
Every paragraph and every time you think of it.
Yes.
Have you ever heard anything like that before?
Yeah, we learned that in school. Is save, you should.
But they're both important. Mm-hmm. Every paragraph. Well, how many paragraphs are you prepared to lose because the power went out or whatever? But
That's
it's the every time
said.
you think of it, I have to tell you the every paragraph. Because the dumb fucking monkey part of your brain that's never done this before needs an instruction. This is the problem with these levels of expertise. At a lower level of expertise, you're not even ready to follow a recipe. Don't even try to boil water yet. You don't understand. You don't even know what you don't know about what you don't know. See also the Dreyfus Model of Skills Acquisition, Berkeley, California, 1980. You don't know what you don't know about what you don't know. And so what do? You treat somebody like a dumb fucking monkey and you go save at least every paragraph. But the part that snuck into that stuck with me for however many 30, 40 years, whatever that is, was also the every time you think of it. Because then that becomes the instrumental part in getting better at it. Mm-hmm. So how often should I take out the recycling? I guess you could say once a week. It wouldn't be enough. Okay. Should I take it out twice a week? I should definitely take out the recycling at least twice a week. This new system that I'm working on that's involved, there's other things involved, but like getting better about this and making my family's life better, 3 times a week might be good. So what's your official advice on how often to take out the recycling at your home in San Francisco? I would say take out the recycling twice a week plus every time you think of it, which is admittedly an adaptation. No fewer than 2 times a week. But ask yourself this, when's the last time you took out the recycling because it was that time of the week? But more saliently, you know why you haven't taken it out? Let me cut to the chase. It's because you didn't do it also anytime it occurs to you that you could do it. And I think something like that applies to a lot of things at helping us get us beyond the first level of expertise about something. Is learning to think about when you should save or take out the recycling. Does that make sense?
That's very good.
Isn't that, I went into that mode. I went into that explaining mode. I do. But like, isn't that kind of true about stuff? Like, how often should you do anything? Like, how often should you like back something up? Let's get away from the computer stuff. Like, how often should you vacuum? Well, it doesn't have to be every time you think of it. But here's the skeleton key. is, and let me just go back, and I'm going to repeat what I said because it's so smart, and I'm afraid you people aren't going to catch it because maybe I'm dumb in explaining it. You got to take it out on your schedule, which is, let's say, every paragraph, or your schedule is twice or three. I don't care, whatever. You've got to take it out on your schedule, but you should also take it out every time it occurs to you. Now, why is that interesting? Because if you're still needing to think of it, or if you're still needing it to occur to you, is there a chance that you're not already following your schedule? So like save every time you think of it is handy to do every sentence or so. But what if it turns out that it occurs to you to save, and guess what happens? You suddenly realize you have not saved your document for 2 pages. And you know what saved you? It wasn't the rule, it was the guideline. If you followed the rule, whatever the rule is, I don't fucking care. If you followed the rule, you wouldn't be in this situation. But the guideline, and every time you think of it, or every time it occurs to you, whatever, that's what ends up saving your bacon. And so that's expertise. Expertise is like having that trick occur to you and go, you know what you could do right now? You could look around your fucking house, your fucking life, your office, your car, wherever you are, look around and go, is there anything in here that should have been taken care of when it occurred to me, let alone when I imagined it would have happened on a schedule? Because expertise is having the presence of mind, the mindfulness to look around you and say, is there anything else where every time it occurs to you could be an effect. I can look over here and I see a full trash can right over here that I can empty, right? Just as an example. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay then. I get worked up sometimes.
I know, and you should clip that out. You should write a book. No, that's
I should export a book. I could export a book. I'm not gonna write a book. I'm not a fucking
or you could
mindsetter.
You could be me and just look at this pile of trash and feel bad about yourself. That's
You're a pile
more
of
fun,
trash.
Really, I know.
Dirty bird. Well, now old Cletus thinks you're a real piece of shit. And I say that every time it occurs to me.
Oh, thank you, Mix Cletus.
Thank you, Mix Cletus.